Now that's what I call a black hole, right?
Ooh, that was gross.
I didn't like those.
That was bad.
We're back. Welcome back to another episode of Volume 1, the Anime and Manga Podcast, where we review the first volume of a brand new manga each week. I'm excited, and my name is Josh Magic Michaels, and today in studio, after 3 weeks, I'm finally joined by
Megan Moon Perrine.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, Cody Decker.
Cody, we're finally back together. Dude, aren't you excited?
Yeah, aren't you happy? In the slightest?
Yeah, dude. I can't even contain my emotions right now, dude.
The past 2 weeks, I've just been like waking up in a daze, and I just play video games, and I fall asleep. I've been like dead for the past 2 weeks.
It's like the most human interaction that you've had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you look great. I love the goatee.
Oh, yeah,
I love
yeah,
the
yeah,
beard.
Yeah, I'm until I can go out again, I'm like, this is what
is
I'll
it.
do. I'll grow a beard. It'll be funny when I come back to work.
They'll be like, whoa.
They'll be like, whoa, you matured.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back. Thank you guys for joining us again. We're finally back together, and it feels great. And today, we're going to have a little fun. And so to do that, we're going to be reviewing Volume 1, kind of. I think it's like a one-shot, basically. But it's the
Volume 1 shot.
Ooh. It's the Dr. Stone Reboot called Byakuya. I think the whole title is Dr. Stone Reboot Byakuya.
Yeah, which I was like, what does that mean? And it's just the name.
I liked the title because I was like, okay, we're going to read the Dr. Stone Reboot. Okay, let me just Google Dr. Stone Reboot. Oh, that's actually the name.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's the actual name. And it's only 9 chapters long.
And also, it's not a reboot.
Exactly. It's more of a prequel,
It's
if
a
anything.
prequel.
Yeah, and reboot more like Raybot.
Oh, that was a stretch.
That
Megan,
was fucking good, though.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not more like
Raybot reboot.
Yeah, COVID has affected us all differently. And I think with Megan, it's just she hasn't been able to talk to as many people
Hey, that was fucking good.
as we have.
I don't know about y'all.
But yeah, dude, I was super excited to read this because of how much I fucking hate Dr. Stone. I thought it was going to be something fun, campy. I saw the reboot, had no idea what it was. This brings me into the first part of it. What did I think going into this manga, or like where did I find it? I found it on the Shonen Jump app, which the Baka Boys, shout out to the Baka Boys, told me about. They said it's only $1.99, $2 a month or whatever, and you get access to all the Shonen Jump chapters as they come out. And so I downloaded it, didn't buy it, but downloaded it and saw the Dr. Stone Reboot was like being advertised, and it was in space, and I'm thinking, out of pure hatred, I have to check this out.
I was like excited. It's like, oh, they're just gonna do it like a space colony instead of like a But it's not a reboot on any level.
Yeah, it's not. It's a story about his dad that happens before the events of Dr. Stone. The ending, spoiler alert, is not really spoiler alert, but the ending is Senku waking up and then Dr. Stone starting. So that by definition is a prequel.
And I don't think it takes. He doesn't wake up like after the beginning. Like it does. It's like mid.
It's so many years after
it's
it
already
takes place.
in the middle of his story happening.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's
a good
not
point.
even like an exact prequel. Like you would think that like it would lead to him waking up, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
He like fell asleep.
it does.
He's like,
Yeah, it does cut to him. It
A
does cut to
lot.
him waking up.
A lot.
Yeah.
That's
Fucking
not
a lot.
that's not the ending. It's throughout the entire.
You're right. They cut to him as a stone body for multiple points
So
throughout the story.
stoned. He's so stoned all the time.
But yeah, so I found out about it that way, and I'm assuming you guys found out about it because I told you guys got to check this out.
Yeah,
right?
no, I would have no interest in reading this. I don't like Dr. Stone either, so
Yeah, this was definitely an obligation. Right. It was so great that the first one we read after coming back was like, oh, great, I don't like this at all.
oh my god, literally, I was literally rubbing my head reading it, and I was just like, fuck, it's you, Dr. Stone. It would be so much better if I liked Dr. Stone.
Sure.
And
Did you guys have either of you guys read or you watched a couple episodes, which we'll get into?
Yeah, drop.
But you drop. But have you guys either read or seen any of it? I know Cody probably hasn't, right? The original series?
I saw like the first episode of Dr. Stone.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes, and then I was like, I can't do this because people really like it, and it's one of those anime/mangas that it's like, yeah, okay, cool, teach me stuff. I want to know knowledge. I want to be smarter.
No, don't teach me anything.
No, see,
I'm not going to school. I'm trying to relax.
There has to be a balance. Like this was not balanced. Monster, a good example of that too,
Okay,
where it's
I can
too
see
much information. We don't need to know all this bullshit. And I could talk about that when I talk about the anime, kind of, and how like the 2 episodes out of the anime are focused on this. So, yeah, it's anime.
Yeah, I mean, this was exactly in Monster. Once they start going into, I need carbon. I'm like, okay, I don't.
yeah.
Space shit.
At least, in Monster, they did kind of just like, run past all the medical terms, but they still felt the need to drop them, which was frustrating. But in Dr. Stone, they not only drop these terms, but then they tell you exactly the exact process of how to make these things and do these things. And I don't care.
And there's like the thing where it's like, okay, they're in like this situation where they need these resources. So I thought, so it's gonna be like how you could get this from these items, but it's just they just have a thing where it's like, I need this. Well, I have a thing that can make it. I was like, so it's not even like puzzle solving. It's just explaining that, like, well, food is carbon.
Yeah.
Cool. And it's like, it's really like in your face. Like, if you are an astronaut, you would probably love this shit because they talk about a lot of astronaut shit.
You know,
but if you don't,
they actually.
Speaking of astronauts, there's a lot of like angles where I was like, is that how the main series is? Where it's just.
You're talking about when she was floating through space
The
and
ass-
you just saw the ass?
The ass shots?
astronaut ass.
Ooh, they were
Yeah, the ass
astronauts.
shots. You didn't notice that?
I did.
Oh yeah, she's floating through space and that booty's floating.
Yeah,
too,
and she's
because
like
it's
arching
cheeks
her.
out.
She's like arching her back and like swimming, and she's like doing like a dance. Like, I don't know if this is part of astronaut.
Yeah, no, very conventionally beautiful astronauts.
Yeah.
They had
In
the
her-
brains and the booty.
In her
Big
astro
astronaut.
shorts she had
Yeah.
like short shorts. And
Well, that's that's science.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. You know, they actually had a consultant. At least in the manga, you saw them credit somebody who was their, I guess, their, what do you call when somebody helps?
Reference.
Yeah,
or
but
like
they're like,
advisor.
He's a consultant.
Consultant.
You said what he was.
Oh, I did?
You said they had a consultant. I don't know what do you call that?
Oh,
Como se dice?
all right. And we're not going to do that again. COVID made me dumb too.
COVID
Don't blame
se say. Oh, fuck.
Don't blame COVID, Cody.
Yeah.
It's funny how your name and COVID kind of sound the same.
Is it?
It's suspicious, that's for sure.
No, it's not.
Anyway, they had a consultant. You didn't play along, and that made me feel bad. But they have a consultant who helped them kind of with space terms and with just trying to figure out how things would actually happen in space, where all these satellites are at,
Yeah.
like
what the
sun would
chemical
do.
formula.
Yeah,
the
there's no
exact
way.
Formula.
All the shit that I didn't want to know.
Yeah,
they paid someone to do that.
Of course, imagine they do like their own research and they're
know.
like, this is what sounds smart. And someone's just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But it is anime, so no one would probably bat an eye if it was wrong.
That's the thing. Nobody would bat an eye. It's anime.
It's insane. Like, there's a video I was watching about Dr. Stone, and it was like an engineer reacting to Dr. Stone. And like some of the things he was just like, yeah, of course it's anime, but they're trying to like make it so it's like realistic,
Right.
and this is just not true.
And,
Oh.
and my problem going into Dr. Stone the whole time, where it's like, it's about the triumph of technology, but then like the problem is it's a magical issue that popped up. So they're going into like, here's the formula for reversing people turning into stones. So I'm like, that's not
yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense.
educational, because what do you mean? Oh, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, to prepare us for when we get a beam shot down at us from outer space that turns us all to stone?
Yeah, and keeps
Yeah.
us alive in
Yeah,
the
and you know-
stone.
you know what
There's
bothers
But
no
then
way.
if you get hit, you're a complete statue. But if you have liquid dropped on you,
Over thousands of years?
it's a shell.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's
So
no
I
have no
rhyme or
idea.
reason.
And, like Ghostbusters, that was an example of using technology over magic.
Yeah.
And,
Well-
they go into neutrinos. I'm like, got it.
Enough said.
Yeah.
What bothers me
It's
though.
a proton pack. Proton is science.
Yeah, that's a science term.
Yeah.
What bothers me though is that, first of all, it bothers me when people trick me into learning, and I don't like that. It does feel like someone's trying to secretly teach me stuff. And, I didn't go to college for a fucking reason, dropped out of high school for a reason. I'm not trying to learn through manga. Okay? Cody, don't make that face. My second point is, what do all these, and I'm a weeb too, but what do all these weebs think they're going to do during the apocalypse? I just imagine they think they're going to be roaming the desolate earth with their Dr. Stone mangas like, oh, I know how to make Coca-Cola. I know how to save everybody.
It's very interesting because like there probably are weebs out there that do enjoy engineering and like all the fucking all the nerd ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Not like as goofy. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are cool. You're better than me. But there's people that do enjoy it, and it's just not interesting to me at all. Like I like space. It's just too much. Like I like learning ice skating from ice skating anime, or cooking from cooking anime. I like that and learning things that way and be like, oh, I saw it from an anime. I know how to do this. That's cool. That's always cool. That's always a cool thing to brag about.
Well, I guess why is it different?
Because you're not going to retain any of this fucking information. Like, I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but
I didn't retain anything.
The majority of the reboot one was one person like doing all of these things. The only thing like the main crew do is figure out how to like land.
Yeah. And it takes forever.
Yeah.
And I like I'm reading it and they're talking about trajectories and I'm like I don't know if this would be something like this hard for them to like think about. And they're like, what are we going to do? Are we going to land on land or water? And they're like, well, if we land on water, we'll have to swim. And they're like, oh, that sucks. I'm like, is that?
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean,
do we have to go into like trajectories when it's really just like, well, are we going to land here or here?
I have my thoughts on like why like all of this, like it all. Yeah.
Well, let me set it up real quick, right? So the beginning of the series,
and
if you haven't read Dr. Stone, go ahead.
No. The beginning where you see that it's the dad and the main character.
Yeah.
And again, the main character is the only one in this series who has anime hair.
No, he kind of does too, but the funny thing is...
He has, like, realistic anime.
He's very...
It's slick back.
It's slick back, but it's, like, the same... What's fucking crazy is, like, you find out that they're not related by blood. Like, that's not his real dad.
I didn't know that.
And they look identical.
When did you find that out?
You find that out because, okay, it's in the anime. It's kind of a spoiler.
Okay, well, we should have...
Well, I mean,
it's not a spoiler. It's common knowledge if you know
yeah.
Dr. Stone. They're not related by blood, but yet they look very much identical.
How are they? What's their story?
I don't know. I didn't research anything besides what I know from this story and from like the anime, the 2 episodes that I watched and going on.
He refers to him in the manga though as his son, and they look identical.
No, they're like they're just not.
Well, is he like a stepdad?
I don't know how he got his life.
He can still be a father, even though you're not blood related.
No, I know that, Cody. Don't try to make me sound like an asshole. I'm pointing out the fact that they look identical and they act identical.
Yeah.
And it's so just make him his fucking dad.
Yeah.
Isn't that hard?
It is weird that they call him Byakuya, but that he calls him Byakuya and not.
I'm not crying. I'm just very passionate. Like I was so upset. I was like, why can't it just be his real dad? Why do we have to make the sob-ass story? Like, what is it?
Well, honestly, it takes a lot of the weight out of it if it's not his real dad. If it's not his real dad, I don't care what happened at the end.
It does add something to my issue with it when you see them interact because they like smile at each other a lot, but the way their eyes are, the smile. Do you have that? You have it? You have it?
That scene where he's like, yes. I was like,
the smile is like, where if you add like the half eyes, it's sort of like sexual, you know, when someone's smiling.
Oh, okay.
You got that vibe. You got that vibe. Space Daddy vibe.
The way that face is, where they just constantly look at each other like, hey.
Yeah.
They're just so like happy to see each other, and I'm like, look, maybe that's how healthy parents are, but the look they give each other, it's very like
healthy parents
sexual
give their kids fuck eyes. Don't, because he's calling back to something in his head.
Yeah, but you just said that. Like, you can't say don't when you just say something that you don't want to be called out for. That's not how it.
Do you remember what his relationship with his father was?
Oh yeah, it's making sense now. Yeah.
That's what he's calling back to right now. That's why he's making that face.
He will. I don't think he would have said anything. And
I wouldn't have.
Yeah, and then you said don't
bring up the fact that my dad kissed me on the lips.
There's like a couple times.
Don't do that, Cody. You fiend.
You villain. I didn't know that they weren't father and son, and I did kind of notice the fuck eyes thing, but you know.
Wow, I'm very happy you guys didn't know. That was a bomb drop.
Yeah, it was a spoiler.
It wasn't a spoiler. It's common knowledge. This is definitely like you.
But let me set it up real quick. So, for those people who have no idea what we're talking about, it is Dr. Stone, but it's called a reboot. It's technically a prequel because a reboot is when you take a pre-existing property and then you redo it But this is not redone. This is in the continuity of the manga.
I assume reboot is a reference to something that happens in the story, and we can talk about that.
Okay.
But I don't think it's I don't think it's reboot as in this is a reboot. I think it's Dr. Stone : reboot, not Dr. Stone the reboot. Yeah.
So what I said earlier, and you're just Raybot.
No,
actually. Yes, but
Yes,
that'll make a lot more sense when we get into the ending.
It has
Yeah.
to deal with Ray, that
right.
little guy or girl.
Ooh,
Yeah.
or don't assume.
Is the title of Ray, is that a reference to Neon
It
Genesis?
is. Well,
Really?
it's not, but it definitely is. Like it's space.
Yeah,
Ray.
probably.
It's a robot in an anime called Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they did do a lot of very heavy-handed DBZ references too. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how the whole story is told? Where they'll just have like references like that, where it's a guy with a scouter and it goes, it's over 300, and then it's a guy. Like I thought everyone was done with the over 9,000 jokes.
No, it's
apparently
never.
Apparently not the author of Dr. Stone.
Never gonna die. That makes it up for the horrible manga. They're just like, oh, Dragon Ball Z reference, cool.
Yeah.
You're just reading. You're like, oh, another reference.
It's oh my god, it's a large number, and people are like, Dragon Ball Scouter, bro.
Sick.
The Scouter.
Yeah. Okay.
You know
so
what I'm saying?
you know what? That was good. Finally, a good
I'm
one.
back. I'm
And
back.
now she's back. But okay, so it takes place. I think there's this like scene 5 years before the events of Dr. Stone. Then you find out that his dad or whatever he is going to be an astronaut, and he's going to go to outer space with a bunch of other people, and he ends up going to space the day that the fucking beam comes down from space and turns everybody into stone. He sees it happen from the space station.
I thought that was an interesting setup where it's like, okay, now it's like the last people in space. You know, what do they do from there? And I thought we were going to explore that.
Oh yeah, I thought we were going to explore a lot of things that we did not explore.
Yeah.
First of all, well, let me just say this. So yeah, then it becomes them trying to figure out how to save Earth within the first couple of hours of it happening.
They realize what happened and accept it immediately.
Oh, yeah.
They like cut the live feed, and it's like everyone's a statue, and like, I guess the explosion made everyone a statue. What are we gonna do? And then the guy's like, my son will get out. He kept really bothered every time. There's like, if I know my son.
That's what I wrote.
Yeah, what'd you write?
It was like, you will break through it. You're that type of man. Like,
and it's
what?
like, he's a statue. What do you mean? He's
He's not a man. He's a kid.
He's like, he's smart enough to get out of it. Once when he was 7, he counted to like 2,000.
Hey, Cody,
he counted
but you know
every
what?
second of the day for a month.
Hey, but you know what? He didn't lose track.
And it's like, he's like, yeah, because he's focused and determined. It's like, he got magically turned into a statue.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with calculations.
Or science. Science goes out of the window when I turn to stone.
But it does. I mean, it's a callback to him, like, being able to get out of the stone.
But that was
he just
pure
has
chance.
a fucking willpower.
Which is another thing I fucking hate about this series is they want to make it about science and they want to make it educational. But if you're going to make it about science and you want to make it real problem solving, then don't have luck involved at all. And luck is what saves Senku and all these characters over and over again. It's not science, it's luck. This is a manga about luck.
Yeah, and then, if it's supposed to be about science, why is everyone in like... I think that guy is in like a ripped V-neck, and then like the girls are in booty shorts, and
it's very important to the plot.
Right.
Like, I like how the ass shots it like progresses throughout the manga. So like the
Gets
first time you're like, oh well, that's just a shot from the back, and her butt just has to perfectly fit the corner. Okay, fine. And then it's just more and more. It's like just every time you see her, she's just like it's getting closer and closer to the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But also, back to the luck thing real quick, too, before I forget. There are so many other things that happen throughout the series, this specific series, where had Senku literally just been in a different location, no amount of brains, no amount of smarts would have been able to save him. He got lucky because things end up happening to Earth over the course of thousands of years, and he just happened to not be affected by that. How does his dad know, or whoever he is, how does this strange man who raised him, know that he's even alive?
I think the only note I took on this was how many seconds. It was he counted every second for 2 months, and that's why he's able to fight off mutant tigers.
Dude.
and get saved by someone else who turns out to be like a dick.
Yeah.
And they also like mention when they're like, "Oh my God, look at the Earth! It's like fucking blowing up." And they're like, "Oh, the petrification has begun." And I'm like, how did they know about that? They literally say petrification, like they say the word, like they. How would they know that's fucking a thing? How do they know it's happening?
We didn't listen to the forecast.
Everyone's stopped posting at the same time, like that.
What do you mean at the exact same
That's
time?
what they say. They go, everyone stop posting at the same time.
And then they're like, well,
check Twitter.
Check Twitter.
The internet's still up. And I'm like, do they not have to maintain that?
Well, the internet does go down because of electricity, and there's no electricity, therefore there's no internet.
Then the dark Earth.
Oh, that was a kind of cool shot.
That was cool. There was cool shots. I'm not gonna knock it for the shots.
Yeah, let me.
What is that? That was a weird vibe.
I liked it a lot, though.
Okay.
It's like, what is? Are you going into like a? Is that some like?
It's a lot here. No, I liked it. I liked it. I like the shot.
I will say this, dude. I will say this just to buy you time to get yourself together.
I'm fine. Okay, I'm good.
I will say this: as much as I hate Dr. Stone, and as much of, I guess I'm not a huge fan of this series either, but I will say I liked this more than Dr. Stone. I will say that.
Yeah, I liked his dad more.
Because what you find out is the main character of this. It's not even the dad.
Yeah, which is another bombshell, right? If I would have known, first of all, the dad is all over all the covers, and he looks cool. He's got a little thin mustache, very thin mustache, kind of a creepy looking mustache.
Yeah.
Oh, you drew the little thin mustache?
Yeah, I
too?
did a little beard.
That
was when he like gave him the fuck eyes, and he was like,
Yeah.
"You're
But
not my son."
It's not only
So we can do this.
Yeah, stepson.
He's yeah. He's not only got a thin mustache, but it's also like thick. Like it's like black. You know what I mean? Like it's really on there. You know what I mean?
Shaded?
I mean,
it's thin, but it's thick.
Well, you know what I mean. It's thin, but it's like, you know,
slim thick.
Slim thick. Yeah. It's dark. It's
Speaking of slim thick, I'm just kidding. No, I don't have a segue. I just wanted to say that.
That would have been a perfect
I know.
segue. We'll save that segue and that setup.
Just cut it out.
Speaking of slim thick,
Josh, how have you been doing?
I don't know. I feel like Thanksgiving and stuff. I kind of packed on a few pounds.
I had a
really from
ham. That was amazing.
You what?
Because I know someone like my friend's mom's dating a beekeeper, so I get like just free honey all the time. So like we just poured like a half a jar of honey on a ham.
Who is writing your life?
I guess someone who's mad at his like creative.
It's like the simultaneous me and Josh just roll our eyes as far as we can and just fucking laugh.
Yeah,
because it's laughable.
I didn't like that.
But he's a good cause. I mean, if he's good to the bees, then he's good with
save
me.
the bees and all that. Yeah.
Well, you can find out there's a lot of, if you go down to Beaumont, there's a lot of people that like sell like pure organic honey like on the side of the road. So
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying like everybody in your life seems like they're a character in an anime or a movie or a manga.
Yeah, my life's a joke.
That's not what we said. We said like your life's interesting. There's interesting characters.
Jokes are interesting.
That's a great point. Jokes are interesting and they're also funny.
Yeah, like my friend's mom's dating a beekeeper, so they give me jars of honey every time I come to visit.
You can't write this stuff, man. You really can't write.
It's really good honey too. Like I would compare it to liquid cotton candy.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever had organic honey.
You should try it.
I'm not the biggest fan of honey.
Maybe I'll
Shall we?
Maybe I'll read about it in Dr. Stone. Maybe he'll teach me how to make.
Do they? Well, yeah. Harvesting honey's got to be a thing for civilizations because it's like sugar, energy. That's got to be important.
They should cover that in the manga.
They
just use cocaine for that.
Do they cover farming and stuff, or is it just like?
I read the first 4 volumes of Dr. Stone, and in my memory, and I am biased because I didn't like it. In my memory, the only thing they made was ramen and Senku cola.
I think they're, I mean, obviously humans are trying to be civilized and like, live. So there definitely has to be farming involved.
Yeah, but it's like, do they do that?
I mean,
I think it happens in the background, but they don't really take time to like explain it.
Because I think that's an interesting element of like how like, because like as far as the science stuff I've seen, it's mostly potions, but it's like the foundation of a society. It's a lot of the the not respected things as far as like plumbing and
that's science.
agriculture.
That's what people.
And
That's what school tells you. Yeah, science isn't everything.
If they went into plumbing and how the little shits got through the little huts or whatever, I'd read that.
Yeah, they don't have plumbing. They're not that civilized yet. They're living in huts.
But but if you look at like ancient civilizations, they still have like aqueducts and like a plumbing system.
Yeah,
it's always been important to get rid of.
And I'm saying on my list of priorities, it's going to be figuring out how to flush my shit and then making Coca-Cola in that order.
Coca-Cola is at the way bottom. It's the most useless.
No,
I mean you can't get like rust off nails and shit. I think with Coke, and it can like deteriorate stuff, right?
You can do that with like the fucking rust remover though.
Oh, and probably whatever got him out of that rock in the first place, right?
Yeah, the magic chemical that got him out of the magic situation in this thing about science.
I don't.
Yeah, in this story about science. Okay, where do we leave off? Let's see.
They do the thing where they're like, well, now that we're in space, let's all get to know each other.
Yes.
And that's when they're like, haven't you guys been working together? Like, is that what happens? Like, oh, we're going to space. Who wants to come?
But you barely see, like, I would have liked to see more of their interactions. It was all like, okay, this happened. Now we have a mission to get out of here, and that's all we're going to cover. That's
what one of the things I was going to say I didn't like about the series later on, but I'll just say it now, is exactly that. It's that we don't get to really know these characters. You think you're going to... This series tricked me 3 times into who and what it was about. At first, I think it's about this crew, and then it's not about the crew. Then I think it's about the dad, then it's not about the dad, and then it's about a fucking robot. But I'm saying, but the thing I didn't like about it is that, the characters, I'm not saying were great, but at least like they were semi-interesting, and I would have liked to get to know them and saw how they operated as a crew, as a unit,
And in universe, they were in space for 90 hours.
Oh, I didn't even put that together.
So, like, it's not even about them, like, surviving in space, scoping things out. They're immediately like, well, we have to go back down. And what is 90 hours? Like 4 days?
90 hours. 4 days.
Okay. So, like, and they don't even cover them, like, because, I mean, they would have had enough food.
In space time? Oh, yeah.
There's no, like, survival element. It's just, they spend 4 days being like, how do we get back down?
Well, if you look at the crew, too, there are some scientists and then, like, one actress for some reason who got to go
Is
up
that
there.
the dancing lady?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that sings. She's like,
Yeah.
Can I sing a song? Can I, like, sing you a song in space? And he's like,
Can I sing it in Japanese?
Yeah, is my pronunciation okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Their faces get close together. I'm like, oh, it's going to be a romance thing? But
Exactly.
it's not, no.
Exactly. They never explore that either.
Yeah,
at all.
They don't explore anything but getting out of space.
The majority of the story for the humans is... what's the trajectory to get back down? My son, he'll get us out of this situation because he's really smart. He counted every second for 2 months. That's not a sign of like some sort of psychosis. It's an example of how smart he is.
Yeah.
And if anyone is going to think themselves out of a magical stone curse, it's my son.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, well, we gotta. That's it. They spend 4 days being like, what if we went this angle?
Yeah.
Oh, gravity.
Yeah. Oh, and then what if we use the robot to calibrate all this data from other weather satellites and have it figure out where we can land by having it, create some sort of algorithm for, the atmosphere or something like that.
That's the problem where it's like, oh, it's okay. It's about these astronauts figuring out this problem, but then it just results in robot. What do we do?
Yeah. And then the robot says, I don't know, I was made with like 60 iPhones. That's basically what he says. Which to me also, for what happens later in this story, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. That's magic to me too.
Those pretty iPhones.
Yeah.
And 60 iPhones, I mean, that is a lot of...
I guess that is a lot of computing
And they have
power.
access to the internet.
And
so.
Ray's cute. Ray's cute is my like BB-8.
Yeah.
Little BB-8 vibes. But like a smart BB-8.
Yeah, he is kind of cute, or they are kind of cute.
Yeah.
Or Ray.
Ooh, Cody's more woke than all of us. So yeah, the story then becomes once they figure out that once they are trying to figure out where they're going to land and how they're going to get back into the atmosphere and where they're going to be on Earth when they get there, and they're trying to get to Senku for some reason everybody agrees to that.
Yeah, they're like, if your son can do it, like he'll be the perfect specimen. And it's like, why are you worried? Like, no.
What calculation do you think your fucking son is gonna do?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Your son might be dead.
They're stone. How do you even know that's reversible?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was trying to hammer home, but you said it.
I mean,
you said
he's
it before
hopeful.
I could say it.
He's hopeful that Senku is the key. Like, he really can't figure it out without this kid.
That's like me. That's like me being a genius, and which suspend your disbelief. And okay, and me, I get shot. Right, I get shot with a gun.
Good.
Whoa, whoa.
That hurt a lot.
Jesus.
I'm thankful for you, Cody. Happy Thanksgiving. And then I get shot with a gun, right? And my dad shows up, and he says, "If there's anybody who can break free of this bullet, it's my son." And then a team of doctors saying, "Your son is dead." And then he says to them, "Not my son. He counted to 1,000 one time. He'll be able to figure this out."
Never broke focus. And it's like, what do you mean? How do you know?
He's just that type of man.
How do you know he didn't just look up how many seconds in a day, multiply it by 60, and be like, "Hey, Dad, I counted."
Yeah.
Did you verify that?
Yeah, how do you verify that?
Were you watching him the whole time? Like, oh, where are you at now? What are you at now? You
Yeah.
don't know. It could have just been a dumb thing he said.
And like you said, if I ever walked in on my son and he was counting and he wouldn't stop counting, I'd call the police. I'd call somebody.
Yeah, definitely the police.
Yeah.
Well, I would think I was in a horror movie
Or
and
like
that I
an
was about to be murdered.
exorcist. Yeah.
I would call it maybe an exorcist.
Or the
yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Or the
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
It's not long until you get into the 1,407, 5, 6,
Yeah.
7, 4, 5, 6.
He's smart.
If you see that guy with that crazy 3 foot long
Yeah.
hair,
Yeah.
Looks
with
like an onion.
green
Looks like a leaf.
frosted,
Does look like an
he looks like Onion Boy, and then
He kind of does.
he's just like 5,000. Like, you want to go talk to your friends, boys?
Boy?
And he's like, "You have such determination and spirit, and I know that were you to be magically turned to stone, you could count your way out." Actually, he does, doesn't he?
He does
Doesn't
count
he
his way out of it.
Oh my God.
That's how he's able to keep track of what year it is
Are
and
you
how much
fucking
time has passed.
kidding me? I hate.
It's an actual plot element that he's really good at counting
Yeah.
seconds.
In the manga, in the original Dr. Stone manga, that's how he's able to tell how many years have passed and what year is it and whatever. And that's the reason why he didn't lose his mind when he was turned to stone too, because he occupied himself by counting for thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
But did anyone lose their mind?
No! And he was the only one counting.
Yeah, imagine you're at 3,000 and then you're 2,040. What was it? And you just forget,
yeah, I know.
and then you have to restart.
I mean, I remember that's a thing. It's like, oh, that's why he's he comes back so great because he counted. But then it's like every time he freezes someone, they're just like, "Whoa,
Yeah. Yeah.
what happened? You were frozen." Oh, okay.
None of them say, "What year is it?" They're just like, "Oh, thank God I'm not stone anymore."
Cool.
Anyway, so let's get through this 9 chapters.
But also, yeah.
But go ahead.
There's a thing where it's like, oh, he counted. That's why he knows how much time passed. But
Yeah.
it's like, but that means everyone was aware of time passing, so they know that it's the future.
Yeah, that's another thing that I didn't really
No, he has the
understand.
willpower to keep his brain active.
Because I guess the other guy in the story, he was able to, what he was thinking about the whole time was that girl, because he got turned to stone. His friend got turned to stone right before he confessed his love to somebody. As he's about to confess his love, it happens. So what kept him sane was just thinking about her the entire time.
The entire time.
Get over it.
And then, but he's a whole village of people that have been unfrozen, and it's like, so what did you do to maintain your sanity? I counted every blade of grass that I saw. I counted the stars.
Well, you can't see though.
And you guys know about the village, right?
Yeah, there's humans. There's humans who have been around.
That's what it cuts to Ishigami village.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
him.
He's like, what? Ishigami village? And we go back. I got to get back down to my son. There is a nice moment where he's like, I wanted my whole life to go to space, and now I'm here, and all I could think about is going back to Earth. That was a nice little human moment.
Yeah.
And then we get a girl dancing and
yeah. A nice ass shot in there too.
just constant ass shots.
Yeah. Okay, but then what basically happens is they decide they're going to go back down to Earth, and then a team of them. I didn't even remember them saying they were going to split up.
They split up into 2 ships.
Yeah, and then something happens where it gets fucked up, and then he's just like, "I'm gonna swim," and they're like, "No." He's like, "I'll do it," and they're like, "What are you?"
Well, what happens is the one ship goes down, and then the other guy says we have to leave them. we have to go where we have to go.
And then he's like, nah.
And then he's like, no, I'm gonna go save them because that's what Senku would do. Yada yada yada.
There's so many
he's
people
obsessed with his
inspired
son.
by this kid who like, what do you mean that's what he would, how do you know that?
Yeah, they're all just like, what if he was lying and his son's just like an asshole? And he's like, oh, Senku, yeah, we gotta go. And then it's because it's just fucking
and if he is
kid.
obsessed with this kid and it's really not his son, then that's even weirder.
How do they look identical? I'm so pissed.
Like, you know that you guys are like the last 6 people on Earth. And you're like you're the smartest ones except for the singer who like I guess won like a contest.
She's probably rich and paid for it or whatever.
So it's like, why would you be like, let's leave them? It's like, that could be the only.
Yeah.
Let's just it be just the 2 of us until we die.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And then they basically say they're gonna go save them. They go save them, but they don't even. This is what irritates me. They never show them being saved. Once I'm gonna keep calling him his dad. In my head he's his dad, biological. What frustrated me the most was that once Senku's dad Byakuya leaves the spaceship, we never really see him again here and there, but we never see any of the other crewmates.
That's where the story for them ends, and that's when it's about the robot. Yeah. Because he was like, are you coming back, guys? I mean, we just got here. We're going to do calculations or something. Yeah. And he's like, I'll come back, buddy. And the robot's, so it's about the robot like maintaining a ship for like years, which I like that story, even though it was just like, oh, I need this. Here it is. Oh, I need access to this. Oh, there's an asteroid that has exactly what I need.
I think that Ray does play a big part in like what we're gonna see in the second season, from what I've heard.
Based on that ending.
Yeah, so it's not just like a throwaway character that we just Ray's in space as important towards whatever the story. But yeah, far more interesting. I would have liked more of the robot and him doing shit in space. That would be cute. Like the ending just felt like,
it's not I'm a sucker for stories about AIs like trying to survive for when like a life form comes back. It surprisingly happens like a lot, because it goes into him like, well, I need to maintain some resources for when they come back. So, and like as it goes on, he gets more and more like, okay, well, hopefully they bring food and water because I can't use that anymore. Like Mass Effect did that, where it was like it was an AI that had to like maintain like life pods until like another civilization could find it, and it had to like eventually just start choosing which pods to turn off.
Mm-hmm.
What's a robot's favorite body part?
What?
AI. Sorry, my hand's sweaty.
Yeah, that was weird. So yeah, he gets an asteroid and he's like, I need water from the asteroid. So he gets the water and he's like, I need this. Oh, awesome! I'm a 3D printer, so I'll just make that. And then I gotta. It's just him having a problem, being like, that's nitrogen oxide dimethylene. And then he's like, well, I'll make that. And then...
Yeah, and it seemed like all these problems that he had were very easy for him to solve. I don't know if 9 chapters was something that they gave, a limit that they gave themselves, but it seemed like they wanted to tell a story in a short amount of time, so they didn't spend much time on him having to go and get these things. It's just like, I need A, B, C. I can get them from this place. It's going to take me 3 years to get there and 3 years to get back. And then it just kind of cuts to him getting it and cuts to him getting back. There's no real like struggle to get these supplies.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he has nothing but time.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah. And then are we going to do a spoiler mark? Because there's this one thing he finds where it's like, is that a joke or is that extremely important to the plot?
I think I know what you're talking about. Okay. Well, let's just say that at this point, we'll get into spoilers right now. Let's just say at this point of the story, they half the crew goes down, crashes in the ocean. Then Senku's dad and the rest of the crew go to save them. Whether they do or don't is also kind of left up in the air at some point. But then, yes, we find out that the narrator has been the robot, and this is a story about this robot Ray that Senku's dad made. And then, like Cody said, he's going all throughout the galaxy to get these supplies, and he's building spaceships out of astronaut suits. And everything that kind of happens from this point on is probably in the last maybe 3 or 4 chapters, maybe, right? So let's put a spoiler warning here now. If you don't want the end of the series or kind of like what happens in the final chapters ruined for you, this is our spoiler warning. And I think we need a sound for that.
Are we going to talk about spoilers? Because I don't...
It's spoiler time.
That was good. That was a good one.
That was good.
That was good. Okay, so what's the thing? What's the thing that you want to mention? Because I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay, because he finds an asteroid and he's like, oh, cool, water.
Another one.
Oh,
Another
I
one of
need
these
this. Oh,
bitches.
there's an asteroid made entirely out of that. That's fucking cool. And then I was like, oh, this one's got water. Oh, there's fucking, what is there? There's just a dragon.
Yeah, it's not a dinosaur. It's a dragon because
Yeah,
it has
straight up.
wings and everything.
Yeah, it
Straight up.
would make less sense if it was a dinosaur because it's in space. But like,
I guess it's
yeah.
maybe like going to different dimensions.
well, because I know that's
Possibly.
like a thing Godzilla does, where like
Oh yeah.
some of them are just from space.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it looks like one of those. It looks kind of like the one with 3 heads.
King
Cobra. That's
King Cobra?
That's a brand of 40s.
King Kodon? No, it's
Ghidorah?
King Kodera or something.
something
yeah,
like that,
yeah.
He's from space,
He's straight up from like
and it
space.
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
it kind of looks like a one-headed like version of that, and he looks like a mean customer. And then the robot's like, oh, cool. Well, I can pick some of the ice. Oh, yeah, and then it's like, there's a part where he's like, oh, this asteroid's too big.
Luck again.
This asteroid's too big. I can't carry it. Oh, the sun, it's evaporating it, and oh, now there's a chunk that's just exactly the right size I need. And it's like, that's not like, you're not even gonna have him like figure out how to get.
Yep.
It's just, oh, I need this. Oh, and then here's the science element. The sun evaporates ice, and it's like, okay, let me write that down.
You know what else Ray is searching for?
What?
Asteroids.
Asteroids. This episode's got to either be called Astronauts, Big Astronauts,
Astrats?
or
Asteroids.
or Big Asteroids or something like that. But yeah, dude,
Big
there's that.
asteroids.
Yeah. There's that point where he can't carry, or they, sorry for misgendering.
Also, it's a robot, so you can't misgender it.
Maybe it identifies as male or female though.
It looked like it did look like a woman towards the end.
It was a ball. Oh, well, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
And
towards
also-
the end when she's like has the whole body and she's like.
So it is a she, actually. So we've been right.
Yeah.
She.
Goes and says she can't collect this asteroid, and then I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Cody, the way that it breaks off is Ray makes a comment about the sun, and then as they're making that comment, the sun shines onto the asteroid and cracks it in half as they're making that comment.
It evaporates the ice, and it breaks it off into the exact chunk that they needed. And that's
Cool.
how that's how these things keep getting. And it's like, is that supposed to be scientific?
Yeah, this story relies on luck.
That's an exploration of like, here's the triumph of using science to like get through your issues of like, announce your problems, and then they'll get resolved.
Yeah, exclaim them into empty space and they will happen.
Yeah, literally in empty space. This might be a metaphor for the plot of this manga.
Yeah.
Oh shit! This manga, by the way, I don't know. I know it's terrible, and I know it like the story to me is bad, but it looks beautiful, and that's got to count for something, right?
Yeah, it's the art's good. I do not like the design of the main character, but everyone else looks like okay.
Especially when Megan was talking about the shots of like the Black Earth and just most of the other character designs and just the art in general, I have to say, is some of the most beautiful artwork I've seen in manga in general. But the story, not that great.
Lackluster.
Yeah.
Lackluster.
Ooh, not bad. I just feel like I had to mention that, because I know I go pretty hard on Dr. Stone and the reboot wasn't, I thought it was going to be more campy and more fun and more, it was going to be more self-aware, and it kind of was just Dr. Stone in space. But I feel like I gotta step out of my bias and just comment on the beautiful artwork for a second because I've been going kind of hard on it,
Okay.
Oh yeah, I wrote down. She goes, let me show you what let me show you what zero gravity looks like. And then just proceeds to turn around and show her ass.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, that ain't fucking zero gravity. I'll tell you that much right now.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like the size of pant?
I mean, it's pretty big, so it's not like a zero.
Like the size of pants?
No, that ass
Like
is...
zero, like that's women's pants, like 0, 2, 4, 6.
Right. No, I'm saying that ass was like a 10 out of 10. It wasn't like a 0.
Are you not gonna do Is That Ass from Space because it's out of this world?
That was so much better.
Yeah, that was really good.
You should have just interrupted me, and it would have saved me from.
I'll interrupt you.
Are you
Okay.
a galaxy?
Yeah, thank you.
No.
Yeah, Is That Ass a galaxy? Because it's fucking huge.
I was say Milky, but that's not.
Milky.
It's for booze, not.
Now that's what I call a black hole, right?
Ooh, that was gross.
I didn't like those.
That was bad.
I was trying to say that ass is a 10 out of 10. That's why 0 gravity. It's not a 0. It's a 10 out of 10.
Okay, yeah.
10 out of 10
yeah.
does not equal 0.
No, it's
no,
not
it's
0.
like the number. He's really. It's yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they're trying about like okay.
Yeah, my comedy's on a Dr. Stone level, dude. You have to like do a bunch. Okay, you have to do a lot of math to understand it.
Okay, do you have to do a lot? Oh yeah, but so like it's just this robot keeps bumbling and like just having access to the things it needs to maintain this ship, and it's like, when will you come home? And I was like, I feel like I'm supposed to care. And then that's it. At the end, he finds a dragon in space, and he's like, ugh. Anyway.
What was that? Let's not go back there. I'm not going back there.
That was fucking crazy.
He could have like tamed it.
Ooh, unthought it, and then it's still in space, probably. Somebody could find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that going to be relevant to the plot?
I hope so.
Just knowing, oh, by the way, there's a giant dragon frozen in ice just
Bring it back.
orbiting.
Yeah.
Bring him back.
Which means it's like it's close to Earth's orbit. So like, is it just gonna go away?
No, it might kind of maybe crash into Earth and they kind of get thawed as it comes into Earth's
And then
atmosphere.
they'll magically have to deal with a dragon.
And they
It
have to
might
send
just-
us to find a
scientifically
dragon.
find a
Scientifically.
It might be like in flames though, like it might burn to death.
But maybe it's
as
impervious to
coming down.
fire.
It is a dragon.
Yeah, I don't think they would have the story. Like maybe it just ends with just a dead dragon.
Yeah.
Like calculations tell me.
Oh, I totally forgot. Okay, so yeah, I forgot to mention the anime. So yeah, 16 and 17 in the anime is basically this.
Okay.
Just less words and straight to the point. Like
Okay.
way better. I mean boring, but better.
Okay.
And you get like you hear her like English singing. She's like, I want to dream, and she's like speaking Japanese and just like speaks English. It's pretty funny. But you find out like obviously they get to Earth and his offspring and like relatives, like they're all related to this fool. Like they populated that village, and that's why it's called Ishigami. You know, whatever, because
Got
he was the like originator. So they're like, are we all related to you then? Because he comes and he's like, oh, that's my dad. Like you guys are all related to my fucking dad. But he's not related by blood. That's when you find out they're not related by blood. He's like, they're like, are we related to you? And he's like, no, I'm not related to that guy and by blood. And I'm like, okay, fucking stupid.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's the thing about like this being based on science. It's like that's not a big enough like amount of people to like handle generations without like everyone getting like disease from inbreeding and shit.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, there were like two girls.
There were 2 girls. Unless you want to get not necessarily dark, but it's going to get graphic. Unless the dudes, the dudes all fuck the 2 girls because then they can have different sperm with different eggs.
That's exactly what happened. But like,
That's still not enough people.
Yeah, and no, but there definitely was. I mean, there was time for inbreeding to happen and become, better. Maybe.
What do you mean better?
Talking about.
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously, like you see, like the effects of inbreeding, like so close and like from this. But if it was like thousands of years, it's like cavemen. They all kind of fucked each other. So it's like thousands of years go by. You're not going to see this huge like gap of people that aren't like all there. And like, okay, you feel me? Does that make sense? I don't know. Does that sound?
There's 2 girls.
Does
and
your argument sound?
No, there's 2 girls and 3 guys, right? So like, even
Yes.
if one guy is like, hey, look, let me just join in.
Well, it's him. Yeah, it's him. He definitely fucked the booty one.
Yeah.
Because they were already like having a thing, and then the other one, the brown-haired one.
The short-haired girl.
She was married.
She was the wife of the Russian.
So
He died.
there was just one.
When did he die? How did he die?
The blonde one dies.
When they crash?
No, in the anime, he gets sick, like in the beginning, and I think he dies. And they have a couple kids, but then he dies. He ends up dying.
Oh, so then Senku's dad fucks her.
Hey, they fuck everyone.
But that's so.
Yeah,
like,
explain your math.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So now you have like 2 groups of children you can have. They are gonna have children, right?
Uh huh.
At that point, Anyone else having kids is pure inbreeding.
Because it can only be like 2 cycles, basically, right? Those kids,
now
if they have kids with each other's kids, then that's inbreeding.
The only thing left is half, like, siblings. That's only 2 generations.
Well, maybe they didn't. Like, maybe they just stuck with one, and it was like an Adam and Eve situation.
Yeah, how
which
did it
is
happen?
very scientific.
Yeah, very scientific.
I'm using scientific. Yeah, both of them, like, did it, and then they had a kid, and then their kid did it with the other one's kid, and then that's how it. And then it's just 2 relatives.
Yeah, but then that kid would have to have, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would kind of like...
The farther you go, the more, like, this is, like, in the family. Like, it's only, like, separate for, like, it's only really separate once. If those kids have kids...
Oh, because they die and they can't reproduce kids.
Yeah, and then you're getting closer and closer and closer.
Yeah. I was like, they can just live forever and keep fucking and having babies.
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice. That's my life.
No, Megan, people die.
I know. Like, fuck. I don't... What's death?
Yeah, you're right. So, I mean, how did it happen on Earth then, Cody?
Huh?
How did it happen on Earth?
That one was Adam and Eve.
Oh, definitively.
Yeah. No, I mean, there is a thing where, most of humanity almost got wiped out in the early stages by a disease, which is why they think, like, humans are, like, fascinated with the idea of zombies and plagues and stuff in the stories, because that was, like, one of the things. And there was only, like, 1,800 people left.
Okay.
That was enough to, like, get it going, and then they, like,
because
separated.
you could be, like, cousins.
Yeah, cousins is actually... Cousins are fine, like, scientifically.
Well, like, first cousins maybe not, but like second cousins, like,
yeah, which is every time you see in the past, like, oh, they married their cousins, like second cousin.
It was different back then.
Yeah,
there wasn't a lot of options.
People are still out there marrying their second cousins, and I guess what Cody's saying is there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean,
and people marrying their dads too.
Yeah,
but there's something wrong with that.
There's Woody Allen. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, but that's not genetic.
They're not genetic.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh,
my
right. No, that one was.
We gotta be on record saying that.
No, cut
we
that part out.
gotta be on record saying that. It's okay.
Cut that part out.
Yeah, but yeah, that's yeah.
So I think the foundation of this village relies on ignoring, like, genes.
Well, in Dr. Stone, I mean, I didn't get that far, but like, there's other people like breaking out of the stone.
There's other people breaking out of the stone.
So that could have happened, like, for like, this new guy came up here. Okay, cool. We can use him.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna let that one slide.
If it's like, because I like that. If like the main,
to use him to repopulate, not use him.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. We got you.
Yeah, we got you. We got you, Megan, loud and clear.
So yeah, the main character, he gets out of the stone because like a random group of like chemicals falls on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like that just happens like around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a very specific set of chemicals that has to leak on him. Like, I think like a bat was involved somehow, like, and then water, and then like another chemical from this like cave that he just happened to be drifted under, because he didn't start there. Over thousands of years, like, through like tides or earthquakes, like, he got drifted under.
Yeah,
there.
he was in a school.
Yeah, he started at a school.
Yeah, and then Pangea.
And then he ended up in the middle of Africa or something.
Pangea happened again? I don't know.
Oh, the continents got back together?
And then they broke apart
cute.
again.
That's kind of, that's sad.
Yeah, because they had a like toxic relationship. They couldn't last.
There was an on again, off again relationship.
I can relate.
Yeah. But like over a span of like a long time, so like they were happy for a little bit again. But.
And honestly, I mean, you look back at Pangea and you remember the good times of being continents.
Yeah, it makes up for the bad times.
Yeah, when you were a continent, you remember how much like easier life was.
Yeah, and all you wanted to do was be Pangea, but then now you're Pangea again. You're like this.
Yeah, you want to be yourself without Pangea. Like, you can't think of yourself without Pangea until you're not in Pangea anymore, and then you're like, okay, now I can finally
I'm pretty
like.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay. I'm gonna work on myself and be established and create mountains, and like it's good for you. And then you kind of fall back into Pangea, and you're like, it's comfortable, but I stay my life like this,
Just because it's comfortable doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah. And you think it's good, but then the tectonic plates start pressing against each other, and you're getting earthquakes. And that's a lot of tension forming underneath the surface of the crust.
Now I'm sad. Cody's face. Cody, it's okay. We're back together. Yeah.
This is Pangea of podcasts.
Okay, well we're like better than that. we're
better than Pangea.
Yeah, don't get too crazy. Don't get
Take
too
it
crazy.
easy, buddy. Yeah, I for this thing about science, like, so great. How many people would have to be like magically, like luckily, like freed from stone to be able to bring in enough genetic diversity into this very small village to keep it going for thousands of years? And how many people are in this village? Like 30?
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I
don't
maybe
get
the
it.
rock thing, maybe
Maybe
other
they found out a way
people.
to like mix the chemicals
I doubt
and put
it,
it on
but-
there. I mean, they would have done, you know, everything in their power to like get everyone. But you kind of like over thousands of years, you kind of just accept people being stoned. So
I guess, but I'm gonna let that slide. What bothers me even more than inbreeding is the fact that in space, back to Ray, right? In space, there's a huge asteroid that comes and wipes out a whole continent. I think of Russia, or it wiped out. No,
Yeah, but-
Greece or something. What did they say?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I just said Greece.
I thought, yeah, it's like Europe, but fuck Europe, you know?
Yeah, fuck them. I mean, I love them, but you know, I want to fuck them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the highest compliment.
You could say you're up.
You're up next.
Sweaty high five.
Sweaty high five.
I'm sorry.
But all I'm saying is that it ends up crashing down and completely wiping out a continent. And I don't know who was on that continent, but at the same time, how
The stone people.
I mean, they were all stoned. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, no one was there.
Yeah, but how
There's
does
a bunch of people counting the seconds in the day.
Yeah,
yeah.
they just die again.
but how does Ray know, not number one, that Senku's dad or Byakuya didn't get fucking wiped out, and that B, Senku didn't get wiped out?
He's not that type of man.
No, he's also very smart. Also, the robot, he's like, I gotta figure my way out of it. Just like, who's the main character from?
Byakuya.
Just like Byakuya would. And it's
Close
like,
enough.
the main character from Dr. Stone. Yeah, I'm gonna call him Dr. Stone. He's like, I gotta think my way out. This AI, I gotta think my way out of this, just like Dr. Stone would. It's like, the son of the guy you work with is your example for intelligence when you work with a team of astronauts.
Yeah, and you met him once.
Yeah.
Did the robot meet him?
I don't
met
think
him in
that
the
robot
beginning.
met him. I think that was a
Right?
different, older model or something. I don't know if that was the same model.
Oh, then how would he retain that information of?
He just knows about the guy.
Oh, because he's like an AI. And he
even
knows
if
all.
he like met it, it's like you work with people that got into space,
Yeah.
and his example of someone who is smart is the guy's son,
a high school student
A high school student,
who
let's not
counts
forget
seconds,
who's really good at counting seconds.
who's kind of into quantum physics at a young age. We get it,
Yeah.
cool, whatever. You know who else? I mean, young prodigies are. You're not special.
yeah, is he
Yeah.
like? What does he do with quantum physics?
Yeah, I know him.
I don't know. If
Is he
figures out
just
how to,
a-
like,
is he
rig
just
the vending
a-
machines at school? I don't
I
know.
mean, you can't use quantum. You like put a fucking stick through a coin. You can rig a vending machine.
I'm not a scientist.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, dude,
is he
I
just
haven't done that.
I
gotta do
fucking
that.
love science guy? Is that it? Or he's like, dude, quantum physics is cool.
I mean, he's just trying to
Or
follow
is-
after his dad. I
Is
don't
he like
fucking
Reed
know.
Richards?
He seems like he's smarter than his dad, though.
He's like a Tony Stark.
What
type?
does he do?
Who? Him or his dad?
What does Dr. Stone do to make him like like the smartest person in the world?
I
apparently?
don't think he had any really accomplishments
Yeah, I mean,
before he got turned into stone.
Yeah, he's
and-
literally a high school student. And he's also not smart enough to advance to another grade, apparently.
Yeah, because he got turned to stone.
Did he not even? Well, he didn't even skip grades.
No, he didn't skip grades. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying.
knew someone who skipped a grade and they weren't
And
smart.
that is such a
That's
good
what I'm saying.
point. That is such a good point.
He's not smart enough to skip grades.
Why is he sitting in class?
In real life, there's people that like went to university at the age
Oh.
of 16.
They have to explain that.
They have to.
The,
And it's
the
gonna
dad's
be-
probably like, you gotta go through all the grades
Yeah.
just like I did to
Yeah.
experience life.
That's
blah,
the
blah, blah.
honorable thing to do.
Yeah, no, fuck off.
Yeah, they're going to explain it. It's going to be a character thing. Senku's going to be like, going to another, I'm already smarter than everybody. So what does it matter if I'm still here, you know? Might as well be here or there. It's the same to me because everybody's stupid.
Well, the smart decision would be being like, I'm not going to do that because I can't date college people when I'm 16.
Ooh.
So the real smart decision is not to skip
You
grades.
can. It's just not.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a guy, so it wouldn't be as weird.
Still pretty weird.
Yeah, but everyone would be fine with it.
Well, yeah, like society, but, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I dated like a college person when I was in high school.
How old were you?
Like 17.
How do people?
But Jackson.
Oh, right. How
Yeah.
old is he?
Well, didn't you
We're
know
3 years
each
apart.
You knew each other though. And, like,
Yeah,
oh,
but
and
still,
3
he was like,
years-
hey, I have a girlfriend in high school.
But 3 years is fine. You know, even even if
Did you wink at me?
yeah. 3 years.
No. Okay, 3 years apart, not 3 years old.
No shit.
I'm sorry, sweaty again.
Okay, yeah, let's make that very clear. I didn't think I had to make that very clear.
We're back.
But yes, 3 years apart is fine, right? Like if you're 17 and your boyfriend's 20, I mean,
Yeah, but like, me and Jackson were just like
so in love.
we're like different, you know.
Yeah.
It's weirder if you meet a high school girl and start dating them before you know.
Yeah, you
Because
guys
that
met when you were
happened
underage.
all the time at my high school, and I was about to. Where are high school people meeting college people?
Parties.
At their minimum wage jobs.
and minimum wage jobs and parties,
Oh yeah, I don't.
because parties are cool.
That's
and
why all the girls
older
want a
guys
work
are
permit
cool.
so they can meet the fucking grown-ups at the
He has to be the
Panera Bread.
McDonald's manager. Oh my god, he's
Yeah.
gonna go so far in life.
Yeah, it's like,
Cool.
oh my god, Melissa's dating a 30-year-old. Where'd she meet at Starbucks? You know?
I do know people that worked at coffee shops, and it's like that's because like who hangs out at coffee shops? Dumb teenage girls.
I used to hang out at a
Whoa.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
And I'm a dumb teenage girl, you're right.
Yeah.
But I used to hang out at Starbucks to like smoke cigarettes and play, Naruto trading card games.
and
stuff.
that's when you were in your dating phase. So it's like yeah.
Yeah, you're probably getting approached all the time. Like, oh, what are you doing?
This feels like you're attacking me.
No, but like that's
What's great
like, the
though
time.
is like we're both attacking you, but I'm in the exact same boat.
yeah.
Don't tell Megan.
What?
I know a guy who got a job at a coffee shop because he's like, I want to meet a girl, and that was his plan. And
I mean, that is a good.
It took 2
you
years,
Work at
but
a
it
place,
works.
you
He was
meet
like-
you meet people.
Better than Tinder, I guess, right?
Yeah.
yeah, apparently everything's better than Tinder.
Yeah, we're sad again.
Pangea, Pangea,
Pangea.
Pangea.
Yes.
Okay, so let's kind of
Unless
figure
they
this out.
if someone, I'll look it up later, but someone look it up. Is there a reason he doesn't skip a grade, or is that something that wasn't thought of? And then
No.
if they explain it down the road, that's totally gonna be
They've got to.
someone brings it up to the author.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, that is a good point.
But it could be a throwaway line. It could be one line of dialogue that makes that the way it is. You know what I mean? He could just say, like, everybody's dumb. Why does it matter what grade I'm in? I'm smarter than everybody, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like it has to do with life experience or some bullshit like that.
And they might explain it. I don't know. I read 4 volumes. I don't remember them explaining it or not. But my point is, this series, how did you guys feel about it overall?
Are we gonna talk about the ending first?
Oh, yeah. I forgot. I thought we did.
Because the astronauts, they go have children or whatever, and like
Apparently.
we see like the dad, and he's like an old man, and he's like, "Yep, getting water," and then he's like, "Yep, I think this body's on its last legs. Just give me a second here," and then he just fucking dies.
Collapses.
Bro, when I tell you, I laughed so fucking hard because he just falls in the water and then his face is like half in the water and he's like,
Yeah.
He just drowns face first in the water.
Jesus.
So, and if everybody there is related to you, was somebody help?
Why were
Yeah.
you getting the water?
Yeah, that too.
And it's
Why are
such
they
a
making the oldest man?
stupid way to die.
Yeah.
You know you're gonna. Oh, my last leg. Okay, let me go get water. No, you should be resting if you know you're gonna die.
Yeah.
There should be people at your deathbed because you're like the fucking person that made everyone.
Exactly.
In
You
this fucking
created the village.
Yeah, like why are you not? Why are you getting water?
You should be in a bougie ass hut.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, exactly.
Surrounded by the hottest village men or women, whatever you want.
But
you
they're
know?
all late. Like they're
Oh,
his
right.
daughters and
Right.
cousins. So
Okay, well, you should be surrounded by all the water you need.
Yeah.
And food you need. Maybe some candles and stuff.
yeah, get the fucking kids who are doing nothing to get you
Yeah.
some fucking water. Not this old ass man. Like it's kind
Yeah.
of it's honestly like they don't know, senior priority obviously.
Yeah,
I mean,
and he narrates his death like it's a dumb like comedy where he's like, "Yep, getting water. Up, I think I'm about to die. I'm dead now." And it's like that's not even that far away from what he actually says. in the
You're
manga.
right. That's exactly what happened. And then he falls face first into the water. Yeah. And then through the reflection of the water, he can see the space station where we learn that Ray has installed this beam of light.
Yeah, he's trying to signal to let him know, like, "Hey, I'm still up here."
Oh, right, because the space station was only supposed to last for a year, which is also fucked up that Ray is doing all of this shit for Senku's dad, for Byakuya, and Byakuya looked him, even though it's a robot, in the eyes and said, "I'll be back," and then left.
How could you come back? What technology are you gonna have back on Earth?
That's a
That
good
is
point.
everything is fucked up.
Yeah.
And
no
literally,
plan to get
as they're jettisoning toward Earth, he tells the robot, "I'll be back." They're jettisoning towards Earth, and he's like, "Yeah, there's no way I'm coming back."
It gave him hope to keep, on and to keep busy, I guess. But it is a robot, so.
And the robot at that point they use the 3D printer that they just have, and they use that to create another 3D printer. And they create a chain of 3D printers, and he's like, and eventually it'll recreate me. And it's like, what do you mean eventually? If it can do that later, can't it do that now?
I guess the priority was to restore the space station.
It does both. He has a 3D printer for himself and a 3D printer for the spaceship.
Well, no, the 3D printer 3D prints smaller 3D printers.
Yeah.
And then it prints out the main. This is how I understood it: the main parts of the ship, and then the smaller 3D printers print out the smaller, more intricate parts of the ship. And then he, I guess, wanted to make sure he had enough supplies to do all that because the space station was his priority. And then he was like, or they or she was like a last on the list, right? Like everything was going to be done and ready when they came back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then it ends in like what I think is supposed to be a cool moment. Like the way the satellite looks in the future is like neat, where it's got like wings.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that looked pretty fucking badass.
And that now Rey is like a hot chick. It's a hot robot.
Oh, super hot, dude.
I'm gonna build my own body, based off of what I think
it'll just
is
recreate
conventionally
me,
attractive.
whatever.
Yeah.
Just whatever happens with my new body. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe
why would they think that's important?
And she was butt ass naked too.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah. I don't know. Where would she get clothes?
I mean, they can fucking make whatever else they want to make. They can make a whole fucking space station. They can't knit a sweater.
I have no need for clothes.
Yeah. I want to show off these titties.
Do you want me to show you what zero gravity is?
And then
let me sing a song.
Dr. Stone, he like looks up at the sky at the village. He's like, "What is that? Is that a little twinkle? Is that a satellite? Is that exactly what it is?" As my first guess.
Yeah.
He's smart.
Yeah.
And
then it cuts later on to then he dies, and then it cuts later on to Senku seeing it because it cycles the Earth, right, or orbits the Earth, and then once a year or whenever it's at that exact point, it sends that signal, and then again this whole time it's been cutting to Senku as a rock. Then he wakes up, and then it cuts to him in the middle of his story when he's at that village, and he sees it, and what does he say when he sees it? He makes a comment to himself like. He sees it in the sky, and then he.
I feel like at this point, I think he knows that, this village is related to his dad, right? So he's probably, he probably heard from them, passed down from generations, possibly that he was a man that came from space. So he might know that. I mean, he did know that his dad was related to space. He knows that his dad was in space.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously he's not, alive now, but he like probably saw that and was like, okay, Dad, like I see you.
Yeah.
I know he's like, oh, a satellite would have crashed centuries ago.
Yeah.
But what if?
But what if the AI? Maybe he remembered Rey.
And at that point, that's when the dragon gets evaporated by the sun, and it consumes the Earth, which I thought was an interesting thing.
Okay, that didn't happen. That did not happen.
I mean, read it, find out.
Oh yeah,
read it.
Find out. Maybe it did.
Finish Dr. Stone for that crazy ending where it turns out the
Twist.
Earth is a dragon egg. Oh, that's why the petrification, because the shell hardened.
I wouldn't doubt if they did some stupid shit.
And that's the mama dragon. That's the mama dragon coming back for its dragon egg.
Damn.
That's pretty good. Maybe you should write Dr. Stone.
I no.
But at the very, very end, there is a guy in the village who says Senku's too busy to look up at the stars or whatever. He's got to focus on like rebuilding humanity. But I'm a slacker and I have all the time to gaze up. And he's been like making a map of like everywhere this satellite has been. And I guess each time it flashes in the sky, in Japanese, it spells out like something.
Fuck you.
It spells out something along the lines of like ass.
Zero gravity.
It spells out like I'm still here, Byakuya or some shit like that, or something.
That's why are you could. That's like the most. That makes sense. I would say that you're like something.
I thought,
no, but I don't know exactly verbatim what it says.
Yeah,
that's also interesting how the slacker character is the one doing like the thing that like the OG scientist did.
Yeah, or something.
Which was observe space and like make charts and do the boring shit.
Yeah, dude. This is a giant diss on astronauts.
Yeah, the scientist guy, he can't do this. I'm gonna do actual actual science.
Yeah.
He's too busy to do this. He's doing science, but I'll do some science on the
Yeah, I'm gonna go do some
side.
bullshit in the stars.
I'm
real
just
quick.
gonna fuck around and chart out
Yeah.
the celestial bodies.
It's not like he's just
Yeah.
looking at the stars like a dumbass. He's like, oh, that one's pretty.
Because when
yeah.
you said like, I'm just gonna look at it. Oh, so it's the guy stargazing. No, but he's like writing it down and getting it
Making
documenting
formulas and shit.
figuring out that it's trying to say something.
Yeah, dude, that's a great point. This is
There's
a
a lo-
slam dunk on astronauts.
There's
dude.
there's a lot of loopholes or like things that don't make sense, but they like just like you said, they throw. I hate when animes do that. They just throw it away for you to be like, shut the fuck up. We know this is this.
Yeah.
Be quiet. And this
Yeah.
is so annoying.
But it does feel like you said that Rey is definitely going to come into the anime. Where I was at in the story, I got bored of it. That's why I stopped reading it. I got bored of it after Volume 4. It was a lot of the same shit. I felt like I'd seen it before. But, I did enjoy this reboot series more. And if Rey does come back and play a bigger role in it eventually,
watch it.
I might.
If Rey
For Rey.
does, the entire plot's gonna be them trying to get the satellite into a spaceship, and it's just gonna be the robot being like, well, yeah, I can make that, I can 3D print this, I can do that. Oh, I know that.
Great asset.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be like a cheat code if she came down to Earth, then they'd be able to really do anything.
Yeah, the robot can literally just make stuff.
Yeah.
Like anything it needs. Like, it didn't even need like material because the 3D printer like ran on nothing.
I mean, maybe that'll be the end of the series then, when Rey figures out how to come back to Earth, and then
And he could find the formula to fucking
And it's
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah.
it.
you couldn't 3D print like a fucking shield to land the satellite. You couldn't
Yeah,
3D
that's
print
right.
something to. You couldn't 3D print a parachute, but you could 3D print like turning it into an insectoid,
Yeah.
like chrysalis, and you get a hot body,
Because-
a parachute.
Because they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back.
oh yeah, they're still coming back.
Yeah,
coming-
that's
it's
why
like-
it's like I'm not gonna leave. They're coming back.
It's been like
told me,
it
though.
goes into the thousands. Of
3,000 years.
he told me he was gonna
after
come back.
50.
Well, they make a comment. Rey makes a comment. I don't know anything about human anatomy, but I hope Byakuya is still going to come back.
It had access to the
Dude.
internet.
That's what I'm saying. You have the knowledge to harvest meteors and asteroids, and you have the knowledge to 3D print things and machinery,
and to work with humans.
and to work with humans, and you upgraded your fucking CPU. You changed it from 60 iPhones to like 3,000 or 9,000 iPhones, whatever, because they made the Dragon Ball joke. Yeah, and so nowhere in those 9,000 iPhones was there information on humans and how long they live.
Why were there that many iPhones on there?
I don't know.
Why were there any iPhones on there? Who were they calling?
Can't tell you.
That's spoilers. That's spoilers. Yeah.
They were calling the
Dragons.
dragon.
Yeah, dude.
That's why they were up there.
They're calling the dragons.
Call the dragon in.
Call the dragon.
It has stone breath.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's pretty much the entire series. What did you guys think of it? I know we kind of ripped on it the entire time,
miss
but
anything?
what do you guys? What are your opinions on it? How did you like it? And like, keep it separate from. I'm gonna try to keep it separate from Dr. Stone because I did enjoy it more than Dr. Stone. But how did you guys feel about it?
It's, at one point I just tuned out and was just like looking at the pretty pictures. So if that gives you any indication
Yeah.
of a lot of words, a lot of information to take in. It is only them, figuring out what they want to do and doing it, and that's it. And
Yeah.
it's cool. They did it. Cool. Good for them. But it's like there's no really, like, even the stakes just didn't feel like it was that important. Like, you guys have all the time in the world. Like, you six aren't gonna fucking save humanity immediately when you get down there. You fucking didn't
Yeah.
at all. You
At
just fucked and had kids. Like,
Yeah.
you're not saving humanity. Like, people do that shit all the time. Like, fucking calm
Yeah.
down.
You just fucked. That's all you
That's
did.
all they
That
did. They're like, we're gonna save 7 billion. Like, no, you didn't do jack shit, and
Yeah.
you were hoping that your son would do some shit, and he hasn't done shit yet.
It's taking them thousands of years to do anything.
Exactly.
Just to get out of bed.
So I don't know about it.
So I'm just gonna go through. Like, I didn't expect anything from this.
Right.
I thought it had a lot of potential in things but the way it gets resolved, it's not like I'm not seeing like people using like science to overcome things. I'm
Right.
seeing people either just like announcing how things work when it conveniently like works out for them, and then just having everything they need on them.
Yeah.
That was this entire thing.
That's pretty much the entire
And
story.
We're gonna just go through this notebook to see if we for comparisons. Megan put Martian. Oh, I don't know. Which is a good point. The Martian did like what you think this would have done.
Martian, the movie.
Oh,
Because it's a guy with
gotcha.
limited resources. And he's like, how do I do this? Here's how I could do it, and here's me doing it.
Solo.
Whereas in this, it's like, oh, I need this. It's there.
We have it.
Yeah, that would have been like if the Martian just cut to him having everything he needed.
There was no struggle. There was no struggle.
Yeah.
And like you said, with the chapter 1 and 9, you know, maybe they had a time limit. Maybe they didn't want to give too much away. But it just could have been so much better if they had a little more struggle. And the fucking, if they saw the dragon. Like, shit like that would have been cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Megan expected smart, pretty, boring shit.
I mean, she wasn't wrong.
That sounds like it. That's a
sounds
good
like what it
description,
was.
right?
Yeah. I mean, this is all the Earth just blows up.
I mean,
it?
that's when the comet or asteroid.
Oh,
or whatever,
yeah.
meteor.
Yeah.
Why are there so many names for the same thing? Aren't they all the same thing? Aren't asteroids, meteors, and the other thing I said the same?
Did you not learn anything from the manga?
I do it would. Yeah, it's gonna be a racist joke. Never mind.
Racist?
Never mind.
Well, what I thought about it.
Because it was gonna.
Oh, yeah.
What I thought about it was that it was beautiful. It looked amazing. You know,
God.
the writer and the artist are separate for this series, so I think that the artist is one of the most talented artists working in manga currently. I mean, the art is beautiful, and I can't say that enough. The story, however, very boring. Tried to trick me into learning stuff. There was no struggle. There was no stakes. I would have loved to see more time with the whole crew. I would have loved to see them interact with each other. I would have loved a story about them and then a story about Ray. It did feel kind of rushed, but it also felt long because they were spending time on the wrong shit. Like they were spending time on like the sciencey aspect of it instead of the characters. And, you know, was it better than Dr. Stone to me? Yeah. I mean, I liked it a lot more. It's also not a reboot. It's a prequel.
Oh,
but,
right. Yeah, we should mention. The reason I think it's called Reboot is that it reboots itself into like a hot body.
Yeah, that's about Ray rebooting and all that stuff.
I like it because it's short and I don't have to consume any more of it.
Yeah, it's over.
And that's why the thing of Ray boot is that's the premise of the manga. Is it's Ray rebooting itself into a hot
Megan, I gotta formally apologize to you.
Yeah,
dude.
I know.
That's
you guys
great.
are like, oh, that was fucking bad. And I was like, you guys don't fucking get it. You're not seeing my vision.
You're just it's smarter than us.
we were wrong.
Yeah, I know.
well, yeah, but yeah, I thought it was better than Dr. Stone, and I wouldn't definitely. I don't think any of us would really recommend anyone going out of their way to read it. But you know,
If you like Dr. Stone.
if you like Dr. Stone, you'll probably love this. And
I mean,
it's only 9 chapters.
I guess it's important to know there's a giant space dragon orbiting the Earth at
Yeah.
this point. So
That's fact.
that adds a lot of context to this story.
Dude, they consulted with a professional and
Yeah.
they said, hey, this dragon bit, perfect. This is the real life.
How could
Yeah.
a dragon survive traveling through space? Like,
Yeah,
well, it'd have to be frozen, obviously.
The space consultant was like, "Oh, there's for sure dragons in space, so I need you to include that in the
And
story."
they're
And they're
like-
like, "I guess."
They're like, what? Is that like some
Yeah.
top secret information you're
He's like,
giving
"No, it's
us?
common knowledge."
Yeah. And then he gets like killed for like saying
Oh
shit.
shit!
I don't wish death on him. I shouldn't have said that. It was
No,
just
but
kinda
you
better.
didn't. We didn't wish him to die. You just
Is
said
it
that he-
realistically that's what happened? He let slip about the space dragons.
Yeah.
And like, all right, well, it's going into what is that? A manga? No one watches those.
Yeah, no one watches those. But yeah, so check out the Dr. Stone reboot if you like Dr. Stone. It's 9 chapters long. It is to me better than Dr. Stone, the original series. I do prefer space settings more than I prefer, village settings. That's not always true, but in this case it is. And if you've already read the Dr. Stone reboot and you loved it, tell us why. Why? And tell us what you thought about it. And if you read it and you agree with us because of the things we said, then talk to us about that too. And you can do all that stuff on our Discord, which I believe is linked in now all of our YouTube videos. So if you're watching this on YouTube, then you can click the link in the description and go to our Discord to go to all of our pages, our Facebook group. I think our website is even in there. Our Instagram is in there. And if you're listening to this, then go to the YouTube and find all that stuff there. If you hop in our Discord, we can talk more about the episodes, especially with things like Seraph of the End. When we continue to read them and continue to watch them, we can kind of update you and continue the conversation there.
Yeah.
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 Finally, Cody, you said something. Jesus Christ. But yeah, make sure to do all of that. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. And if it's all too confusing for you, or if you're just listening to this and you're not on YouTube, just go to volume1.com and it's got links to everything there. We have a lot of cool things planned. So thank you again for watching and staying tuned. There's a lot of cool things that we're hoping to do soon. And so hopefully those things go off without a hitch. But, that's TBD right now. Yeah. You'll just have to stick around and find out. But I do think that's going to do it for today's episode in our review of Dr. Stone Reboot. So I think there's really nothing else to do, right? Except get out of here on our outro that's always the same and never changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have two.
Oh, I see. I knew it.
Okay. So the first one is NASA, more like ASA.
Okay, let's hear the second one.
And the second one is, this is ground control to Dr. Stone.
Ground control to Dr. Stone is not bad. Cody, what's your vote?
The only thing I did is I got how many seconds are in a week, so it would have been, we'll see you in 604,800 seconds.
That's a good one.
It is, but I can't remember.
Put it on the thing. Put it here so we can read it. Because that's super Dr. Stoney.
So you said, okay.
Okay, can you
6,000.
Something about counting?
Like
until
we'll see you. We'll see you instead of saying next time. We'll say we'll see you
next time. Count to next time.
600.
See ya in.
Yeah.
Count,
see
ya
in
in. Count to.
See you in. Then we'll say it. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. That's going to do it for another episode. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to subscribe and comment and leave, reviews if you're listening on iTunes or anything like that. Go to volume1.com. Check out the Discord. But until next time, we'll see you in
6,480 seconds.
And count to it to prove you're smart.
And don't skip any numbers.